Well, not gonna lie, it hasn't exactly been the best winter. I don't know if you can hear that noise behind me, but that is a torrential thunderstorm ripping apart this lovely little Alibaba tent. Look at this. The winds have actually like ripped out pull cords and stuff. If you come over in here, you'll see that I've had to use zip tape to go and fix those. And the whole area here underneath the van is under about 4 inches worth of water. The pond is currently flooded again. If you guys saw the update on the Ice Racer video. And, well, yeah, life hasn't exactly been the greatest, and I'm kind of debating just taking a month off as far as stuff going on. Let's come inside the shop here. So, basically, Thanksgiving Day, my cat got attacked, one of our cats, and that was a $500 vet bill by the time that was done, along with the loss of being able to work and do YouTube videos and things like that. So, there goes a few hundred out of the 1,000 or so I had set aside for YouTube projects during this winter and starting the van build. And then, on a positive note, these extremely awesome SATA sets. Look at this thing. We'll pop this open. This is the one that's going to go upstairs for the area that I'm building upstairs. Look at all those pretty sockets. And more pretty sockets. And more pretty sockets. And I'll include a link so you guys can see what this is. But basically, I couldn't pass up $200 worth of sockets and tools, which basically puts me at back square even on what was stolen from me by high-quality people a few years ago. So it went on sale for like $200. So there goes another $200 out of the $1,000 fund. You know, digital zoom is not the best, but let's see if I can zoom that in. That's the pond flooding. Again. Alright, so if we come up here, I did manage to fix the entranceway into the house. This is that roll down linoleum flooring that you can buy at Home Depot. So I thought you guys might like to see that. And the trim is not done. Well, that's because when everything goes wrong and you can't afford it, you decide to do what you can. So there's the nice catch linoleum floor. This is at Home Depot, by the way. It's really cheap. It's like, I think it was like 98 cents a square foot or whatever. And that worked really good. So there's our catch area. I also wanted to share this with you guys. That is a catnip plant. That is a cat that is extremely obsessed with a catnip plant. This is a kennel door. So you flip that up and then you can open it and you can water it and all that. See, I found some brackets and I bracketed it in place. So there's some nice redneck ingenuity for everybody. That's how you have a catnip plant that doesn't get torn apart in the middle of the night and dumped on the floor like 5 times. Anyways, back to what we were going to talk about. So the week after Christmas, for those of you who are down south and don't know what one of these is, this is the oil furnace. This is what decides whether I freeze to death in my house or whether I survive the winter. So about a week or so after Christmas, I hear this thing kick on. It seems to be perfectly fine. The girlfriend goes to work, and then it shuts off. And it shouldn't have shut off. And I noticed the house was only about like 59 degrees when it should have been like 68 or so. And so I came down here and I got into it And that's my controller that was on it. And it took me about 2 hours because I'm not a technician. And I went into it and I diagnosed that the controller had failed. So I called my oil company, got a hold of them, had them check with the service technician that they supposedly had one of these. So it turns out that these 75, let me see if I can find the number, 7505Bs, these are basket cases. They're utter, stupid, horrific basket cases, and most people have swapped them out. But mine had all the air conditioning controls and everything also, which I had debated hooking up over the years. So I called and I asked them if they had one of these on their service truck, because I could not find anybody that had one in stock. Amazon told me it was going to be 2 weeks to get one. And we were looking at about 15-degree temperatures at night, so that was a no-brainer that we needed it done fast. So the lady at the oil company says, "Oh yeah, I called my technician. He says he has one on the truck." So at $120 an hour, the guy shows up, proceeds to take an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes or so, to go through every single thing that I had already done to it, to look over his shoulder at me and say, "I am so sorry. It is the controller. You were right. The relay for the photo sensor is not working in the controller." And I'm like, "Well, cool. So just replace it with the one that you brought with you." He goes out to his truck, comes back with this, because the lady lied to me on the phone and they don't have any of these. Proceeds to spend another hour and a half wiring this in to finally get it up and running. But because at this point everything has been cycled so many times, roll this story back. When I originally got this up and running, when I came back to my house after the whole high quality people situation, I had to post a 5-gallon bucket right here and drain all of the heating oil out of my tank into the 5-gallon bucket out of this, because somebody had dumped, I don't know whether it was canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever it was, into my tank. So I had to drain all of that out to finally get this thing to fire on diesel. So it's been perfectly fine, except for when you cycle a pump over and over and over and over and over again, messing around with the unit, it managed to blow the pump, which meant that they would not replace the pump unless they did my filter on the tank, they did the filter at the pump, and they replaced the pump. Grand total, all said and done, $850. So, at this point, right now, I started winter with a $1,000 budget in order to be able to do some YouTube stuff, be able to work on Van Hollen, and be able to do a bunch of other stuff. And that $1,000 budget is horrifically shot and catastrophically in the red at this point. We're still going to do some videos. I've still got some things going on and stuff like that. As it is right now, I am heating the house partially with propane, the same exact burner that I used when I was living in the cabin. And I'm also heating the house partially with electric heaters on thermostat controls and stuff like that, which is the worst possible way to go and heat a house financially. Oil is way better in the current market. But when you have zero in your bank account, you work with what you got on hand and you figure it out as you go. So I'm not dead. I haven't forgotten about you guys. I'm just trying to regroup right now, and I wanted to post you guys up a subscriber update as to what's going on and why it is that I went from talking all kinds of talk to posting nothing for videos for almost a month and a half. So I'm really sorry. Life has been not exactly the best, but I'm still alive. I'm still smiling. Girlfriend is working at her job, and we're going to go and make it work through this winter. Just got a lot less finances to play around with than we were hoping. Over on RCG Racing, we will be getting onto the Sears build. At this point, the racing season with this squirrely weather here in Maine does not look as if it's probably going to happen. We went out to the place that they do the races, and they only had 6 to 8 inches worth of ice there the other weekend. So that's not exactly a very hopeful sign when this time last year there was over a foot of ice. So yeah, we'll see what goes on. I just want everybody to know I'm alive. I'm doing fine. You know, the family is healthy. I'm going on 2 years of none of this demical whatever stuff affecting me. But that doesn't mean I can't get it at some point, but we'll see. And yeah, everybody stay healthy. Keep going. Make it through this winter, and we'll get back into flipping season. Have fun, guys. See you on the next video.